Oh, I just dropped a flail on that armor column. Here it comes.
Oh, that's glorious.
Ooh, flesh button.
2 kills. 3 kills.
I got a lightning and a thunder.
4 kills. 5 kills. Well, that was a bit of a over-dramatic entrance, if I do say so myself. Hello everyone, my name is Demo, short for the Demolisher 13, and today I would like to talk about the Planetside 2's current construction system. As a fellow Planetside man myself, I do enjoy it. In fact, my KD's never been better than ever with it, but at the same time, it's got some issues. So let's talk about it, shall we?
So once you build the flail, do you just get unlimited ammo?
Yep.
Nice.
Enemy engineer spotted.
Now, as you can see, I've highlighted a few clips of some of the highlights I've had during the construction system. Sadly, I couldn't use my main highlight as I had forgotten to record the audio for that.
He's probably gonna get chewed up.
Yep.
God,
I have now killed 31 people without dying.
Nice.
32
Nice.
people.
Ah, sneaky bastard.
And now let's move on to the not so great part. Some flaws, shall we? As you can see, our poor friend here has spent his whole life trying to destroy my modules and was only able to destroy my repair module, while I shot him in the back repeatedly. Now, I won't question the mentality of the player here, as he realizes if he doesn't destroy these modules, he can't actually take out the base. This kind of leads to the mentality that players will just charge headlong in, sacrificing themselves repeatedly over and over and over until they wither down the base's defenses and repair modules so then they can shell the base from afar. Furthermore, to make things worse, when I went to replace the destroyed module in question, as you can see, I'm having a hard time figuring out how the hell can I even place it, and end up having to place it somewhere far off in the distance, rather than where it used to be, because the system is a bit finicky, especially when you get things tightly packed in with each other. This could be an issue for a lot of people. Which now brings me to my next issue. Construction in the middle of a battlefield is slow, chaotic, and intense, with most of the structures that one will build leading to inevitable destruction before they can even complete. And there's little that can be done, making the players who actually use this system in the middle of a battlefield feel powerless, and sometimes even enraged. Furthermore, while you players are doing construction on this chaotic battlefield, they are forced to navigate a confusing UI, which can lead to scenarios like this. Ugh. So now, as we move on to another part of this lovely video of mine, I would like to compare Planetside 2's construction system to another video game I grew up with, one actually personally, called Starhawk, which was released on the PS3 in 2012. Now, as to why I'm making this comparison between these two games, as they're vastly different, well, somewhat. They're both combined arms. They both have a construction system, though Starhawk made their construction system first, where Planetside 2 shoehorned their system in. Nonetheless, their construction systems are similar enough that they can be compared to each other, in my mind at least. And I do feel like, not saying that Planetside 2 should mirror this game, more or less that they should take a breath of fresh air from them. Some inspiration per se. So, without further ado, let me show you some footage that I have scrounged up from the internet, and don't worry, link to these guys will be down in the video description down below. And the reason why I'm using other people's footage is you cannot find multiplayer footage of this game anymore as the servers have been shut down, sadly to say. And now we've hit the wordy part of the video. The area where I have 22 different suggestions slash problems that should be fixed in the game. Now, not all of these things need to be fixed, but it would be appreciated to see the devs do something about it. I'll also be just quickly going over everything. If you want to read it in more detail, please just pause the video and give it a read, or read down in the description down below. In any case, one major thing that irks me to no end is the fact that, well, if you get the orbital strike, I guess this isn't a problem, but with the flail or just any artillery, you need to get a separate module for it just to fire the artillery piece. Otherwise, it's just a huge paperweight. Anyways, with artillery, it would be very much appreciated to see in-game the ability to lob rounds onto an enemy base that is in a no-deploy zone. I understand you don't want us to build in there, but you should at least allow us to lob artillery shells in there like the orbital strike. Another thing, it would be nice to see if the gunner for the artillery had to just say sit on the artillery piece and look at a screen, kind of like in Battlefield 3, and manually aim the artillery to lob rounds at a target. Now this would be great if you, for the scenario that if you don't have a I don't know, a AI module per se. Otherwise you just kind of have a paperweight. Also, to those who say that you being able to sit on your artillery piece and be able to lob rounds all day at the enemy is overpowered, just know you're just sitting there mindlessly looking at a map. Someone could easily snipe you. Just keep that in mind. Oh, before I forget, if you see the bread in the corner, yeah, apparently my friend forgot to clean up after his bread party last night, so just don't mind the nice, tasty, delicious bread off in the right hand corner of the screen. Alright, let's get to it now. So the next bit is construction UI. Currently, it needs to be refined. It's a bit jank at the moment, and I think Starhawk is a great example of what a good construction UI should look like. So again, we're just talking more about UI that needs to be kept in mind, and how long it takes to build something in Planetside 2. Currently, it takes 48 seconds to build something. That's 3/4, little over 3/4 of a minute. In a firefight, 3/4 of a minute could equal 10 people dead. Now, I'm not saying it should be instant, but I'm saying it should be sped up considerably a bit faster. And if you're going to speed up the construction time, maybe you should slow or lower its health pool, which brings me up to another point. Construction items. Maybe, and this actually goes hand in hand with the construction time, maybe you can make it two variants. You can make a heavy and a light variant of something. The light variant you can throw down real fast, but it doesn't have a whole lot of HP nor firepower. And then you have the heavy variant, which is the exact opposite, which takes forever to build. The other problem is a lot of the artillery pieces, or just even turrets in general, they really all compete for space, and it gets a bit claustrophobic in some parts of the map since the map was never given any actual general authorizations for construction. I mean, bases were, but those bases are far and few in between, and the general map was just left as is. So for construction, I know you guys need to make money off the system, or at least have people buy it because, you are a free-to-play game. For the love of God, just make a bundle. I want you to bundle all the different construction items together, and if people like me have been buying bits and pieces of it, you need to progressively lower the prices like Steam. Also, in the other picture, if you see, why is with this no deploy zone chain linked with each other? I mean, this is ridiculous. How is this supporting your one game mechanic you implemented into the game? How? So having individual permissions for everything, if you really want it, I mean, who doesn't want permissions for? I want Tim here to access my flail turret, but I don't want him to access my anti-infantry turret, because the anti-infantry turret with the AI module is better than he is. Or something like that. And then as you can see, it would be kind of lovely to have people be able to build while in a vehicle. Starhawk is a great example of that. Faction polls, we all love them. Why do they cost money to say I am Vanu, I am TR, I am New Conglomerate? And if we want to be nice to the trolls, we can always add in a speaker system of sorts that everyone can hear. I can already hear the memes playing. Some of the assets, like the bunker, especially the default bunker, could use a redesign, as they seem to be quite bulky and don't use their space effectively. And also in both pictures, I think you can kind of hint what the second one's hinting at. Please add the ability that we can add turrets or something to the top of the bunker. You already have the mount right there. You might as well just do it. It would also be kind of nice if, like in the bunker, there'd be a couple mounted guns for people, kind of like the engineer's guns, so if someone could just run up to it, get onto it, and just lay down some fire onto the enemy. Also, if you are going to pull up any vehicles from a base, since it does cost the base cordium, it should show you how much cordium the base has compared to how much your ant will cost per se. Some friends of mine actually gave me this suggestion, and I'm a little iffy on that, but I am going to share it anyways. It would be nice if we can make, say, a Sunderer garage that would just kind of go out and go collect resources, kind of like in Tiny Build Armies, or something where you're just lobbing AI-controlled resource collectors out. These resource collectors could be very weak and get confused a bit easily, but it does take one small task off of every base builder's mind, at least when they work. Also, I wasn't able to get a picture of this, but it would be a beautiful thing if I could apply my outfit's camo to the walls and other structures of the base to help provide more character to everything, make it stand out more. So I do know when you're trying to build in game, we currently get this nice little circle UI on the ground saying, hey, you can't build a turret here, or you can't build a module here because you're too close. Well, it would be nice if it just if it just highlighted all the ground as red where you can't build it and just left plain ground where you can build it. Just make it all streamlined. I want to know exactly where can I aim my cursor and put this structure. Don't give me these random faded circles. They're hard to see. While we're at it, why do I need to have a special tool in order to just, interact with a structure, like deconstruct it? Again, Starhawk does this very nicely here.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're still plunking away over here. I had a spot starting up a little bit to the east pond over there, but I'm guessing they took it out. Yeah, I don't have any of the buildings or anything, just the basic stuff.
Repeat customer.